as you can all can see on your screen about the name of the chapter, that is the French Revolution. But before that, I would just like to move you towards the background of this revolution. Unlike in American Revolution, you all have understood and seen that in the previous video which I recorded. So in that case, you have seen that how the French nation helped the overall Americans in fighting their revolution, in overcoming their revolution or their war of independence, and how did they get freed from the British, and the English finally accepted that United States of America is a separate nation, not under the dominance of the Britishers. Okay, and India get freed in the case of India, which get freed from the dominance of the Britishers on a later phase, but the America got freed from the dominance of the Britishers in an earlier phase with the help of French. So French played or contributed a huge contribution to the American Revolution. So in similarly in France, there also occurred an revolution. Okay, so what actually happened over that revolution? So we must have a look on it. So it was initiated in 1789 AD and it ended in 1815 AD with the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo. Okay, as you all are well aware about those things. So 1789 and 1815 AD. So it's a very important point, and we will be covering this topic in a span of just 5 minutes. Okay, it will hardly take 1 or 2 minutes, but not more than that. Okay, let's move on to the topic. What where is it basically? So it was a struggle of the middle class which was fighting for the rights of the upper class. Okay, it was a struggle in with the middle class, like we people, we all are from middle class, and the upper class which becomes heavier on us. So to eradicate all those upper class, so this French Revolution was all about that. And what under the upper class comes the autocratic rulers, Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette, his wife. Okay, which said that eat bread if you are not having grains. To whom? To the public, and the public angered and revolted against them, and they were guillotined at final. And what is this guillotine machine? It's like this, in which axe is over here, okay, and your head is over here. The people's head who mm, create cruelty towards the public, especially Marie Antoinette and the Louis XVI, and they were chopped by this axe which was tucked over here, and their head was get down on the bucket. Okay, I hope you understand. But it is a very violent revolution. But by this French Revolution, we get to know about the liberty concept of liberty. I am not writing, I'm just saying. Okay, no, okay, so not waste any time, let's complete it in 5 minutes. Okay, centralized governance, it's a very easy chapter, don't care about that how hard it is. Okay, don't create that nuisance. So in which centralized governance and totalitarian autocratic monarchy, Louis XIV, I am the state. Okay, so there was a lot of centralization, but this centralization was totally corrupt. And second comes the incompetent ruler. Louis 15 and 16, they were totally incompetent. They lived luxurious life. Like Muhammad Shah Rangila, they were like that too. Okay, you have read it about him in the modern history of India. Okay, expensive state economy. King lived a luxurious life in the palace of Versailles. And what of the public? He ignored it totally, neglected it totally. Corrupt judicial process in law. There was a lot of corruption in governance, and law was not uniform. And these all reasons are the political reasons. Okay, these all reasons are the political reasons. You can see it over here. These all are political reasons. Okay, political causes of the French Revolution. Now coming towards social causes, they are the social inequality, corruption in church, and the hereditary and privileged ruling classes. Okay, you are well aware of these 2 points. Okay, you are well aware about these 2 points, but not well aware about the first point. What the first point actually convey over here? Social inequality. There was lot of social inequality. Okay, lot of social inequality, clergy, aristocrats, general class. By this triangle, you are well aware about what I'm saying. Okay, economic causes, commercial purposes. Okay, and what were the commercial purposes? Upper class, free from tax. There was a lot of corruption. France involvement in the American conflict worsened the economic situations, as I've discussed about unfair tax system on salt, liquor, tobacco. Okay, so in this case also public also angered. Development of intellectual consciousness, it's a very important point in which various intellectual thinkers and scholars got a prominent place in the French Revolution, like Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Voltaire. Okay, we will be discussing it in a separate video. Now coming towards impact of the French Revolution, various impact play: declaration of human rights, end of feudal system, rise of democratic spirit, educational reforms, and rise of nationalism and the beginning of socialism, and the beginning of socialism and the rise of nationalism. Okay, you can have a screenshot of it over here. Okay, now coming towards another point, impact on women. What were the impacts on women? It's a very important point. Deprived of rights and respect, workforce survival, discrimination between man and woman, passive citizen status, and the deprived of the property rights. Women were deprived from their property rights. So these were against the women started political parties about 60 in different cities of France. So these they demanded their rights. Okay, now coming towards important events, beginning of the Estates General 5 May 1789 and the oath of the tennis court 20 June 1789. Okay, fall of Bastille Fort 14 July 1789, end of privileges 4 August 1789, Charter of Human Rights 27 August 1789, and the March of Women 5 October 1789, which is a very important point. Okay, so we are well aware about here that the 1789 is common till over here, but with the dates we have to struggle. Okay, written constitution 1791, end of monarchy and declaration of republic 21 September 1792, national convention 1792 to 95, reign of terror 1792 to 94. And you are well aware about that what happened in this case, the Jordanist party and the Jacobin party, and the rule of directory. Okay, rule of directory 1795 to 99, and the Napoleonic era during 1799 to 1815, in which 1899 the entry of Napoleon Bonaparte, and in 1815 the end or defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo. We will be discussing the separate video of the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, till then take care, and please like, share and subscribe the channel.